The way our children are being exploited and the way parents are getting shut out, it comes down to one fundamental question. Whose children are they?
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 ¿De quién son los niños?
Oh, welcome back. Now, this is a new documentary featuring teachers, parents, and experts who reveals the shocking truth on what is actually happening in our school system, something that the Virginia governorship was just overturned on. And it asks the pressing question, whose children are they? With more on this morning, one of those experts, political scientist and author of Black Eye for America, How Critical Race Theory is Burning Down the House, Dr. Carol Swain. Doctor, appreciate you joining us this morning.
Good morning.
So, all right, this actually is shocking to me. I have been a very vocal parent at my local Board of Eds. I was previously on the town council in my hometown, and I've said, these are not your kids. These are our kids. Talk to us a little bit about the fact that a lot of these educational systems don't see it that way.
No, and we're just becoming aware at the mass level of something that's been going on for a long time. Mm-hmm. Before Black Eye for America in 2016, I co-authored a book, Abduction, and it had to do with how the left was stealing our children's hearts and minds. Mm-hmm. And so they have had an agenda for a long time. And because of the pandemic and lockdowns, mm-hmm. parents became aware of something that had been going on for a very long time.
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because this was like the one good silver lining out of COVID. It was the transparency in our education system because so many parents were sitting there, doing their work. Their kids are at the dinner table or breakfast table or lunch or whatever, doing their Zoom conference that are just garbage anyway. And then all of a sudden they would say something outlandish. And I talked to tons of parents that were like, wait, what did they just say to my kid?
Right.
And in my hometown of Greenwich, we brought in posters of material that was taught to 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, and 9th graders, and we put posters on them, and they weren't allowed in the building because they were too profane for adults at a Board of Ed meeting.
I mean, it's hard for people to believe that that there are others out there that have sinister motives. Mm-hmm. And I think that back in 2016, there were teachers taking children to field trips, pretty much to sex porn shops and various things, and Black Lives Matter rallies, and parents were not aware of all the places that children were going and what mm-hmm. was being presented in the textbooks back then.
Yeah, and another thing, social media has become very active with this stuff because parents have been able to exchange their ideas, but now some of those groups are being censored by big tech and things like that. But you see on all these platforms, there's mass choice, whatever, fill in the town here. There's anti-critical race theory, fill in the group, and there's support groups for parents who have just had enough. They were like, teach my kid how to put a rocket on the moon. If 3 + 3 = 7 by your stupid standard, they miss the planet they're aiming for. Why is it so hard to teach these things?
It's not hard to teach those things, but they're so interested in their social justice agenda that they have forgotten about the basics. Mm-hmm. And as a consequence, our children are falling further behind children of other nations. Mm-hmm. They are not equipped for college. They're not equipped, really to be productive citizens in the world. And they are stripping them of the ability to have critical thinking because it's all about indoctrination. They're now indoctrinating them at K through 12. By the time they get to college, I mean, it's even worse. And so they're turning out people that can be controlled by the government, that know nothing about Judeo-Christian values and principles, and it's a very dangerous situation. And most parents, more and more of them know it, but there's still some parents that don't know what's taking place in public and private schools across America.
But where do these teachers, these bureaucrats, a lot of these people have never had a job outside of education.
Right.
Even sometimes they teach items that they've never worked in their real life, which I find just baffling to me. Where do they get off being the purveyors of morality?
Well, I mean, again, at the roots of all of this is cultural Marxism. And these are people, many of them that have gone into education. They have been indoctrinated at schools of ed, but they've gone in there with an agenda, and they really believe that their morality is mm-hmm. the morality. And they see your children as belonging to the state, And if parents don't wake up even more so than they are today, and we do have a parent movement, It's just hopeless for our children, and it's a very dangerous environment for them. When you have kids in kindergarten being told that they can change their sex, that they may not really be a little girl or a little boy, that it's up to them. And I think that's why the suicide rate among young people is so high, because of what they're teaching them.
Yeah. Or how about the fact that in some places in America, they're saying that kids have access to abortions without parental consent as young as 13 years old? I mean, this is absolutely getting out of control. How do people find out more about your documentary?
Well, I mean, it will be released on March 14th in theaters across America. But if you Google "Whose Children Are These?" It will certainly come up, and we will be posting. I'll be posting on my social media, CarolMSwain.com. At CarolMSwain is my handle on most of my sites. And so the trailer is out there, as well as the contact information. March 14th is the release date across America, and people will want to see it, and they will want to share it with their friends and neighbors. Yeah.
Doctor, you have highlighted something that, look, I'm a parent of 2, about to be 3 kids, and you have highlighted something that so many parents are angry, concerned, and they're just bewildered at how we've gotten here. So I appreciate the hard work you do. I appreciate you stepping out, and I hope a lot of other people get behind you.
Thank you so much.